Hello, welcome, welcome. I need a little more lighting. Lines open. Look at that. There we go. Hello, my dear friends. Welcome, Ginger. Oh my gosh, good to see you, dear. How the hell are you? My goodness, welcome. How is everybody today? Welcome to Coffee with the Council Reprise. Very exciting stuff for us today. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Gwen. It's funny. I only recently found out that you could hear me while I have the starting soon thing. So I actually have to make some technical adjustments there. Welcome, everybody. I know it's so funny when you find out certain things are happening. Oh, that light is too bright for me. Be right back. Too bright in the eyes. We'll go with the darker colors today. Hello, welcome to Friday. Unless you live in the future, then welcome to your Saturday morning. Hello, hello. How is everybody? I'm excited for today. What do we got? Let's do that lighting. There we go. Just fine. Welcome to Coffee with the Council, Reprise. We have been going all week. Good morning, Jojo. How are you? How are all my friends today? How's everybody feeling? I am so much better compared to yesterday, like light years better. Gwen says, I wasn't sure if it's snacks for the soul or coffee with the council, so I have popcorn and coffee. That's hilarious. I just had lunch, so I was snacking. There is a live that I want to do called Spiritual Snacks for Soulful Seekers. I just haven't scheduled it or found a time to schedule it. But now that my colleague is back from his vacation and I have less work on the plate. I think that we will be experimenting and trying out some new stuff. Joanne says it's nice and not too bad at all. Some is just about to come up. Oh, the sun is about to just come. I was going to say some of all things is about to come up. Hello, hello. Welcome. Who else is here today? Say hi. We're going to get started soon. We have a beautiful replay to watch today all about Now-ness as how it relates to Is-ness and the Moments of Joy game. One of our absolutely favorite tools or games that the council has given us. A unique one that the council gave. Yeah, send Carrie some sun off on the Northeast U.S. Phone typos. Joanne says, yeah, hard with one hand. I bet. How's the shoulder? How are your wings? How's the healing for those coming along? I haven't gotten to talk to you in like over a month, really. How's everybody else? How are we feeling today? What are we excited about right now? What is exciting? Even the simplest, littlest thing. What's exciting for you today? Being alive. Amen to that, sister. A glorious autumn day there in northern New Zealand. I love hearing that. I love autumn. Do you guys get different colored leaves where you live, Joanne? God, I love different colored leaves during the fall. And that, even though I love living in warm climates, that ends up being one thing I miss by living in warm climates. Ginger is setting good interval boundaries, exciting in a weird way. Oh, I love that for you. That is exciting. It's not weird to me. Setting good boundaries. Definitely not weird to me. Very important. Joanne says wings are coming along slowly and surely. I love that. Hi, Kirsty. Being in my home is exciting. Internal. I didn't exactly know what interval boundaries are, but sometimes you have to set boundaries at intervals, right? So maybe that's what that meant. Sometimes I wonder if typos are happening for reasons outside of our immediate understanding. Yeah, both terms do apply, Ginger. I agree. Joanne says, yes, we sure do. Absolutely love the autumn colors. Yeah, me too. Internal boundaries, Freudian slip. Intervals of internal boundaries. I support you with that 100%, my dear. Lovely, lovely intention. Not weird at all to me. Fantastic. I had to set some boundaries too. Hello, Catherine. Good to see you. Welcome. It's so nice to have all the friends here and all the friends we've never met. Has anyone first time with me or first time with Coffee with the Council? Please say so in chat. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what you're drinking. I'm always drinking water from my beautiful iron flask. Although yesterday I was drinking blackberry sparkling beverage. It's quite yummy. Coffee with the Council we've been doing since the beginning of April. The Council, for anyone who doesn't know, is this beautiful group of guides, the Council of Seven, who came to me a little over a year ago, and they have been sharing really profound messages with us on the topic of Is-ness. So in May, what we've been doing is we've been doing these reprise sessions where we're replaying the videos, because I record all my lives. We've been replaying the videos from April, and then it's kind of like a study session. So we're getting to chit chat, ask questions, pause and talk about different things. And then we check in and with the council most of the time and see if they have any additional messages for us. So it has really been quite lovely. And today's is very special to me because the last few days we've been watching the videos. There was a video about was-ness and then a video about Not-Yet-Ness. And today they're going to be talking about Now-ness. So they've been in the habit of using ness to slap on to different words, and I love it. Actually, it's playful, it's intriguing, it's subtle. So there's a lot of cool stuff there. Hello, Suleiman. Hi, Kelsey. Good to see you. Carrie is drinking English breakfast tea as it's 58 degrees. That sounds very soothing. Hello, Jack. Hi, good to see you, dear. Ness, like Loch Ness? No, not quite, but close. Good to see you, Suleiman. Yay, he says, good afternoon, Greg and friends. I love that you're silly. That's fantastic. Kelsey says, happy to be seen. Happy to be here. Yes, indeed. Awesome. I'm happy it's Friday, or for our friends in the future, Saturday morning. I'm happy that I feel better than I did yesterday. Way better. I got so much work done. So Ginger mentioned setting boundaries, right? I had to set some boundaries yesterday with work stuff, and I basically told everybody I'm not going to be checking any communications. I'm just going to focus on my work. And I got so much done in 3 hours because I'm a projector, so that's kind of how that's just how my creative energy works. Like I can get 8 hours of work done in 3 to 4 hours, and then I'm done, and I can't work anymore, and I have to relax and play and do other stuff like that. So, anyways, I was so proud that I set a boundary. Everybody actually respected it too, and they left me alone. And I just got tons of work done. It was really, really lovely. Yay, Greg! Yay, Carrie! All right, we're almost 10 minutes in. Let's get the video rolling. Here we go. Let me set this up for us. Is this anyone's brand new first time before I swap over? Brand new first time, what we call firsties. Basically, friends we have not met yet until today. Anybody? Firsties? No? Oh, Kelsey. Oh, okay. Well, no, I thought I saw you at one of April's sessions. This particular format is a little different. We're just basically watching the replays from April. Yeah, I think I saw you at one of April's. I'm still getting used to this new interface. You're here, and that's all that matters. Yes, I love that. All right, I'm not going to worry about the new interface because I don't understand. It's saying 24 have joined, and there's 9 here now. I have no idea what that means. All right, let's get rolling, my dear friends. Thank you for being here. This is awesome. I love that I have this little mode where I can prep what I'm going to put on the screen and then share it with you guys. Firstness! Is anyone embodying firstness? Yeah. Anyone here who is in firstness? I love that, Gwen. That is so funny. Is Christy a firstie? Where's Christy? Kirsty. Hi, Kirsty. She's new. Wonderful. Congratulations. I mean, I guess congratulations. It's a little weird to say congratulations. Thank you for being here. Welcome so much. Let's give Kirsty a warm firstie welcome. Kirsty is a firstie. That's hilarious. I love that. We have a lot of fun here, Kirsty. Welcome to the fold. We hope that you enjoy the session today. And if you do find value or just have your heart opened or have an aha, which is what I love to celebrate, I welcome your follow if you so choose. All right, let's get into the video today. It looks like I am about to call in the council. Oh, and before I forget, I'll just remind everybody, since this is a little bit of a new format, we are learning as we go. But if you want me to pause the video, please just type in chat, please pause, and you don't even have to type a lot. You can just say, please pause, and then you can ask a question, like, because if you have a question, or if you want to, and I mean, you can feel free to comment in the chat, because I actually can see it, because I'm also watching the replay. So yeah, anything goes there. And I will occasionally pause as well to bring in more information. Hello and greetings, our dear friends. We greet you from the energetic realms where we celebrate and love each and every single moment of your experience in this life. We celebrate and love every single aspect of who you are. Welcome and good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you, our dear friends. How is everything going with your Is-ness? Indeed, Is-ness is a beautiful and powerful concept, and it goes beyond time and space. However, we are still amidst our conversations that are relating to our very initial encouragement for you to shift and reframe and reshape your relationship with time. We have covered was-ness quite wonderfully and not-yet-ness. For those that are new, was-ness is a state of being in which you are focused on and living from the past. Not-yet-ness is a state of being in which you are focused and living from the future. And today we wish to speak to you of now-ness, for we cannot continue the instruction around is-ness until we have covered the gamut in terms of time and space, so to speak. There is much more that we wish to discuss regarding is-ness. Indeed, we will give you hints, a little bit of a juicy anticipation, perhaps. One of the most important things, as you may have heard us speak about before we even started coffee with the council, is this concept of the power of choice. This will be something that we will be discussing much more consistently and thoroughly as time goes on. Today, we are dealing with the now-ness. One of the other aspects that we will be discussing is how important beliefs are and how the experience of your beliefs is indeed happening in the here and now. So, if was-ness can simply be defined as is-ness weighed down by story, and if not-yet-ness, per our simple definition, is simply defined as is-ness burdened by yearning and longing, then now-ness is simply defined as your ongoing connection to is-ness. Now, some of this is rather cryptic, we understand, but we do love to work with words as best we can, for it is not always easy to convey a concept such as is-ness when individuals such as yourselves are living in a time-space reality that is, quite honestly, simply but an illusion. So let us speak further about now-ness for a smidge, shall we? So now-ness is a state of being in which you are continually and regularly connected to the very moment that exists. Now, there is no other moment of existence. The past is an illusion created by your mind. The future is an illusion created by your mind. The only moment, quote unquote, in time that exists is this very moment now. So if now-ness is defined as your consistent connection to the moment, then how do you go about doing that? It is not simply the statement, live in the moment or living in the now. While those are helpful instructions, they are not necessarily something that you can dig your teeth into, necessarily, if you will. So let us share for a moment on now-ness as a practice in presence. We have a number of tools that we can offer to you in this case. As some of you have heard before, our one and most favorite tool is what we call the Moments of Joy game. We call it a game for I'm gonna just stop it right there because I'm just sort of sensing that there's more to talk about here. Does anyone have any questions about what they've said so far? There's a lot of subtleties to this. There's a lot of nuance because, and I can't remember if they get into this, but with now-ness being the connection to the moment, the connection to is-ness, even when you are living from a place of was-ness or not-yet-ness, if you are in those states of being, this is where the paradoxical, beautiful, crazy paradoxical stuff comes in. But the minute you acknowledge the is-ness of living in was-ness, right, then you're back in the moment. For example, if you're feeling regrets or disappointment or drudging up old stories that are making you feel regretful or disappointed or even angry or sad or whatnot, right? And you're getting lost and spiraling in that stories about the past, right? Well, what we know now is that the emotions that you are experiencing, they're not emotions from the past. They're literally things that you are feeling right now in the moment, based on things that you are thinking, your beliefs that are occurring right now in the moment. It just so happens that your mind is focused on the past. But the minute we stop, and the council was sort of talking about this at the end of yesterday's session, the minute you stop and go, oh, there I am feeling sad. Oh, there I am feeling lonely. Oh, there I am feeling regret or disappointment. There I am focusing on the past or focusing on the future, whatever. The minute you sort of just go, oh, there I am, you're back in the is-ness. You've let go. You've like released the burden, the weighing down of story that causes the was-ness, right? And you've released the longing or the projection or the yearning or the fear or the anxiety that is associated with the not-yet-ness, right? So it's just it's beautiful actually. You're using an I am statement. You're not saying there I was feeling sad. No, right now I'm feeling sad about thinking about this thing in the past. Right now I'm feeling regret. Right now I'm feeling anger. Right now I'm feeling frustration. Right now I'm feeling fear. Right now I'm feeling. You're feeling it right now. And so there's a beautiful sort of paradoxical subtlety and nuance to this, right? So that's a little bit of, I don't think they really talked about that. So I just felt like I wanted to spread a little bit more icing on that cake. How is that sounding? Or how's that registering for you guys? Do you have any questions about that? Someday I will channel with my eyes open, and we can ask questions. You can ask questions to the council directly while they're in the middle of a message. Gwen says, I had an interesting experience this morning that I'm trying to figure out how it fits. Okay, Carrie says, very good. Kelsey says, interesting. Feels more ease and effort. Effortless, you mean, sweetheart? Feels more ease and effortless. Jeffrey says, interesting. Makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense, but it's also not entirely easy for the mind to grasp, right? Like if the mind really tried to analyze what I just said, it would probably get itself in trouble like our minds do, right? But if we just are like, oh, look, there I am. There I am doing that again, right? And like the council was saying, what they were saying yesterday in their second message to us was without judgment, without analysis, without further criticism, without piling more bad feeling stuff on top of it, just going, oh, look at me being in self-judgment. Oh, isn't that interesting? And suddenly you're present with it. You're in the moment. You're in the now-ness because you're acknowledging the is-ness. And that actually could be a new definition for what now-ness is the ongoing practice of acknowledging the is-ness of all things. Oh, there's that person that annoys me. Oh, look, I'm feeling annoyed. I am annoyed right now. It's not because of the person. It's because of what I think about that person. It's not because of what they're doing. It's because of what I believe about what they're doing. That's what's annoying me, is my own thinking and my own believing. But the minute I say, I'm annoyed, I'm overwhelmed, I'm scared, I'm frustrated, I am. That's right in the is-ness. And that I just love it. It's beautiful. Yes, it does. The mind does analyze. It's supposed to analyze. And we can even be, oh, look, there I am analyzing. There I am analyzing again. Kelsey says the acknowledgement of the now feeling of the past, thought, or future. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I love how Kelsey said that. The acknowledgement of the now feeling of the past thoughts of the future. Well, I will do a small readjustment to that, Kelsey, because you nailed it on the head energetically, but I'm going to just adjust the words. The acknowledgement of the feeling and thought, the now feeling and thoughts as I'm focused on the past or the future. Because the thoughts also only ever occur in the moment. Everything occurs in the moment. There is nowhere else. There's nothing else. There's no other state of time or place of existence except the now. So whenever we're thinking about the past or thinking about the future, we're doing it in the now. But when we actually can acknowledge, oh, I'm actually more focused on the future or more focused on the past for this right now. Oh, there I am. I'm focused on the past. Oh, the minute you say there I am focusing on the past, or there I go focusing on the past. I like there I am better. You're just bringing it right back to the moment. Gwen says, I guess I was in my head. Were you? I was remembering a story that I read and was lost in that story, but it wasn't a stuck feeling. Oh, okay. Mari says, why does the mind not stay long in the is-ness? Well, the mind has difficulty. The mind can do it. The mind takes training to stay in the is-ness. But it is, I believe that my belief system around this is that it's just how we're designed. If we were always in the is-ness, we wouldn't be bumping up against any contrasts. We wouldn't be bumping up and against any conflicts. We wouldn't be bumping up against any of the grist of life, the gunk. And it is the gunk of life that we came here to experience, not from a sense of we came here to experience hardship necessarily, although some people made soul agreements to do that. But we came in order to, how did somebody say it last night? Embrace the human experience. And when we invalidate any part of the human experience, we're actually removing the stepping stones to our own growth and expansion. So in the moment, Joanne, can I use you as an example? I don't know why you're coming to mind. It's a great question, Mari. And yes, Carrie, it is because it lives in the 3D and lives in the physical. And the mind has the ability, guided by the heart, it has the ability to consider and look at things beyond the physical, from the physical that we live in. But it is designed to function in the physical. It is designed to help us analyze and evaluate our 3D reality, right? It has the capacity, as I said, led by the heart, to perceive much more than that, but its normal tendency is to process data points. It's looking for data about this. It's looking for data about that. It's looking for guarantees. It's looking for assurances. It's looking for certainties, right? That's why it's looking for data. I'm going to look for this. I'm going to look for that. It loves to analyze. And there's nothing wrong with it. We don't want to invalidate our analysis. There's a time and a place for analysis. I once heard, like 35 years ago, when I first started my spiritual path, somebody said, It's okay to think about my feelings, and it's okay to feel about my thinking. And I have always loved that to this day, because it creates a space of allowing, which really is allowing itself is just really powerful. So the design of us, when we invalidate even our own analyzing, okay, let me use Joanne as an example. So Joanne she has challenges in her legs. I won't get into specifics, but they vary from day to day in terms of her own level and degree of what she's thinking about and feeling, probably. And so she could be very angry one day, possibly, like, I'm just thinking out of the box, Joanne, so you can always correct me if I'm wrong, but she could have a certain day where the pain is too much and she's very angry and frustrated about it, and she just wants it to go away. There is an aspect of that's just very real, right? This is very real feeling, very real thinking, very real experience. There's an aspect of that where there might be a tendency to think, this shouldn't even be here. This shouldn't be happening. I don't want this. This should be different, right? What the mind is doing is it's resisting the what is, and it's trying to eliminate it through process of analysis, which is not possible, because if it is, then it is. Then it exists. And the mind, there's nothing the mind can do to un-is it, to unexist it. For there is no such thing as non-existence. So for the very fact that the pain might be in her legs on one particular day, the mind's trying to invalidate it as wrong and bad from a place of beliefs that don't work. And yet, the minute she relaxes and accepts that this is what is in the moment, she may not like it, but it is what is, then suddenly we have this whole realm of possibilities open up to us. We have the infinite possibilities in the moment. There's never infinite possibilities in the past or the future, but in the moment, there's infinite possibilities. There's tons of different options. Her mind and heart suddenly open up. Yeah, you do get angry and frustrated sometimes. Physical pain causes humans to get angry and frustrated. It's just par for the course, right? But when we validate it, even if we don't want it, even if we have that part of ourselves that's just like, oh, I freaking hate this. But it is what it is, as Carrie likes to say very often. It actually is. And when we fight against it, when we insist on its being different, we're creating so much resistance that we're out of alignment vibrationally. It lowers our vibration. And then the mind is really at its very gutter, if you will, vibrationally. But when our heart leads the way, when we're open to new possibilities, when we allow what is to be what is, even if we don't like it, when we just allow it to be and we say, oh, I see you. Just like when we say, oh, there I am feeling angry. Oh, there I am feeling frustrated. There's such a deep heart-centered allowing to that. Then the mind can relax, because the mind is always concerned with whether it's safe, whether it's secure. The heart knows it's safe and secure. The heart is so intimately connected with the vibration of love that it just knows that well-being is. Well-being isn't on its way. Well-being wasn't something that you lost. Wellness isn't something that you have to effort or strive or get to. It is. It just is. It exists. It just purely exists. It's just we're out of alignment with it sometimes. And that just happens to be our course. We still don't know exactly. It is what it is, and I am what I am. Exactly, Joanne. We still don't know exactly what Joanne is learning from all this. Some things that we experience, we get the opportunity to grow within a few short hours. Other things that we experience are lifelong opportunities, or they keep cycling in and out for it. It just really depends on our beliefs. I hope that answers the question, Mari. Long answer. Kelsey says, curious to think this acknowledgement, this I amness, is also an invitation to trust we are exactly where we need to be because of our choices. Yes, I absolutely agree with Kelsey. That is wonderful. Carrie says that's our physical quote unquote body, not my energy body. Absolutely. Hi, Jenny. Good to have you here, sweetheart. Nice to have you join us. Infinite and so beautiful. Yes, it is what it is. Gwen says, I love saying, I see you pain or knee like you taught us. It does open up options. Yes, it does. You're welcome, Mari. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, let's go back to this beautiful discussion. I love these lives. To encourage you, if you so choose or feel so called to, use this particular tool or exercise to practice your connection to the moment, to be in your now-ness. We use the word game in order to convey a certain sense of perspective, attitude, if you will, to bring into the practice or the use of this particular tool. We do not ever want anything that we suggest to feel like a burden or an obligation or something to tick off on your to-do list. What is the Moments of Joy game? Quite simply, it is one of the most powerful ways that you can foster a deeper connection to the moment in order to begin feeling better and begin making the connection to who you truly are as spirit, as source, as love energy, as part and parcel as of the whole of all it is. So the Moments of Joy game, quite simply, as you are out walking your dog or enjoying a leisurely stroll, preparing your beverages or foods for the day or for the particular meal, or even washing the dishes, brushing your teeth, whatever it is, whatever mundane, regular activity you may be doing, bring to presence of mind the intention to look around you and witness moments of joy. Look at every single thing that you possibly could lay your eyes upon, and what you are looking for specifically is whether the witnessing of that particular object or experience brings any sense of joy to your heart. And as you are watching and witnessing and looking at these different things, you assign it a number, and quite simply a number from 1 to 10. 1 would mean, I can feel a little baby bit of joy in my heart when I watch or witness this particular thing, when I experience this object or person, place, or thing. And a 10 means my heart is overjoyed and overfilled with joy. It is a bursting and amazingly expansive. So you simply walk through your day. Let us take our dear friend's example of walking beautiful Daisy May. Hello, Daisy May, we see you and we love you deeply as well. So you are out walking Daisy May, and as you walk, you notice how Daisy May's tail wags, and you suddenly think, that's a 7. There's so much joy in watching her tail wag. And then you see as she sniffs around in various places, sniffing for different scents, for this is a powerful, in doggies, this is truly one of their most powerful senses, is that smell and hearing. And she cocks her ears as she listens for a sound in the distance, and you look at that and you think, that's a 5. It's not as joyful as the tail wagging, but it is indeed have some joy. And then you watch as she does her business, and you think there is no joy in that necessarily, and yet you do your obligation to clean it up, etc. And as you move forward, you just begin to look around even further, maybe not as focused on your pet, and you notice a certain fence that is just beautifully painted and wonderfully decorated, or perhaps you find a beautiful plant with the most brilliant purple flower, or perhaps the sun is rising or is gleaming through the trees in a certain way, and you just continue to look at everything. And each time you look at something, you give it a number for how much joy it brings to you. And you do this, our dear friends, without judgment, without analysis, without creating any story. For what you are doing is cultivating the connection with what is truly real in the moment. Not what you think is real in the moment, not what you think about what you are seeing, but what you actually feel. For it is the truth from our perspective that you are every single moment of your day surrounded by sources of joy. For joy and love are what is the universe is comprised of. It is the very essence and nature of everything. Now, you might think when you hear this, well, but what about those moments that I don't feel good, that I feel uncomfortable feelings or negative feelings, or that I'm worrying or stressing about something? Well, quite simply, our dear friends, you can take a moment to discern whether you are living from wasness or living from not-yet-ness. If neither one of those is the case, then simply what is happening is you are allowing certain beliefs, thinkings, definitions, meanings that you have signed to things to surface up in the moment and filter your experience of the love that absolutely and infinitely surrounds you. So the Moments of Joy game is indeed quite powerful if you choose to practice this. We'll give you the one example from Greg's recent experience. You may have heard this story before, but it definitely sticks strongly in his mind and heart as one of the most fun experiences of playing the Moments of Joy game. He was traveling on a plane from Utah to Denver, and when he arrived in Denver, as he walked through the terminal from the gate to the baggage claim, he was absolutely mesmerized by a massive string of murals along the walkway underground from the gate to the baggage. And it was filled with vibrant colors and different shapes, and there were several different murals stretching across the wall from various artists. And as he walked by, he looked at the different shapes and colors and simply felt how much joy they gave him. We do not recall the specifics of the shapes, but if you will, there were many different animals, and perhaps there was one animal that just looked so amazing to him that it was a 10, and another, the color was not exactly the most joyful, but he marveled at the richness of it, and it was a 7. And then there was a particular aspect of the mural in which it was only a 2. And then the next mural, there was a beautiful splash of color that brought an 8 worth of joy into his heart, etc., etc. And after looking at the murals as he passed through this underground walkway, he then began to look at his fellow humans, and he could see the smile on the faces as they were greeting loved ones at the baggage claim. He could see the consternation on some of the others, and he did not get into any descriptions or any stories or any analysis or wonderings about what was going on for them. He simply looked, registered whether there was any joy, gave it a number, and moved on to the next thing. So we hope that through this example and our instruction that playing this game is something that you find easy and effortless to do, for it truly should be easy and effortless. If you are struggling with it, our dear friends, you must pause and let go of the perspectives on the past or the future. For this game, this Moments of Joy game, will not function well for you if you are continually drawn back to other thoughts and ideas about anything other than what you are immediately observing. So we will check in with you later on how this particular game is feeling and functioning for you. That said, perfect pause. So any questions about the Moments of Joy game? Because I'm feeling inspired. I'm feeling inspired for us to actually practice and play it right now. Yes, Gwen, question. So I do want to offer a clarification. It is possible to play the Moments of Joy game at any time. It's just a lot harder when you're stuck in the wasness and the not-yet-ness. Okay, so Gwen says, why the numbers? I think that the numbers, JC says loves this, Greg. It's landing, and not just because I live in St. George. Should have a trip planned to Denver next month. That's hilarious. So the numbers are part of the game. You could play this and just simply walk around and be like, there's joy there, and there's joy there, and there's joy there. The numbers, okay, thank you, guides. The numbers keep the mind focused on the game. It provides a variation. Yeah, and it's not necessary, because when you're looking around just at what makes you happy, you're only going to look for what makes you happy. This is very much the mindful observer. Like that example he gave when I was walking through the airport. There were people that I saw who I wouldn't have normally paid attention to because their clothing or their looks, or their energy or whatever was not something that I would naturally notice. But because I was playing the game, I looked at them and I intentionally saw even a one's worth of joy. So it's very different than just, it's similar, but it's different than just looking around at what makes you happy. It's why it's not a gratitude game. It's why it's a joy game. So we're out. It's like the numbers help keep the mind busy, but they also help teach us that it's really a matter of subtleties, subtle degrees, right? And it's also helping you. It's acting as a, what's the word? It's acting as a meter or a measuring stick for helping you recognize the different levels of vibration. If you just look around and paying attention to what makes you happy, that's great too. You could do that if you wanted. Absolutely. That would be called the what makes me happy game. But the moments of joy game is recognizing the subtle variations. A 1 has a different vibration, a different frequency than a 10. And recognizing that helps us train our minds. Okay, this is a big piece of this. Recognizing that, assigning a number, recognizing the feeling difference, the energetic, the vibrational, the frequency difference between a 1, a 2, a 4, a 5, a 7, an 8, a 10. Recognizing those helps us fine-tune and calibrate our mind so that when we think something and have a corresponding feeling associated with it, we know where it's at vibrationally. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me. Okay, cool. Thanks, says Gwen. Yeah, so that's a great question, Gwen, because if I can guess where that's coming from, my intuition is saying, you're thinking, oh, well, if we're not supposed to analyze or have any story or do any judgment or criticism, why are we actually assigning a number? So that's the reason why. Because the number A keeps the mind busy, and B, it helps us learn about the subtle variations. And then C, it helps calibrate our mind so that when we're unconsciously in the middle of a 2, for example, right? We feel it and we're like, that's a lower vibration. And then we could start playing the game and be like, oh, I love my controller. I love my iron flask. And it's not just love. I could do that. You want to do that, you could play the love bomb. Absolutely. This is a 10 for me. There's lots of different reasons why it's a 10, but the reasons don't matter during the game. This is a 10 for me. My microphone is a total 7 for me. You guys are an 11 for me. Doing the live streams is a 20, whatever. I should probably keep it within 1 to 10. But yeah, I love my phone. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have a cell phone for 15 years. So when I see this, I've done so many fun things on it. Like, it's a total 10 for me. It's helped me stay connected to dear friends and family. I mean, there's lots of reasons. And again, you don't have to bring the reasons in during the game. In fact, I encourage you not to. I'm just offering them as an example of where some of the joy, like the joy trigger, if you will. So if we play this right now, just try it. Your immediate environment. The view out my window is a 2. My lamp is a 9. My water bottle is a 10. My controller's a 10. My mouse is a 7. My microphone's an 8. My laptop's a 10. Exactly, Carrie. The reasons don't matter. Well, The reasons don't matter during the game. The feelings do. The reasons do matter because afterwards it's like, well, it can be fun to think about the reasons too. But during the game, it's about, oh, wow, they just told me there's another, wow. Okay, so there was those several reasons. There's another reason for the numbers. It's helping you. Oh, wow. Okay, this is so huge. It's helping us practice shifting into different realities. It's getting our mind more fluid, more malleable, so that we can make shifts when we need to. Yeah, aha is right. Right? It's helping us be more aware because, one of the things that always blows my mind, Bashar talks about how every single second we are shifting parallel realities and timelines billions of times a second. I can't quite conceive of that. I trust and believe it's true. So the Moments of Joy game helps calibrate our mind and our awareness level to those shifts, right? To the vibrational shifts. That's huge. That's huge. And then we can begin to exercise more choice and control with that. I love that. JC likes this because I struggle to let joy nourish me and not just land, but stay, and then look for it in the moment. Sparks love and gratitude. That is a really beautiful reflection, JC. Yes. And we can have as much attachment to good feelings, like negative attachment to good feelings, as we do as feelings that don't feel so good, right? And the reality is that everything is always in fluctuation. Would we prefer to feel good most of the time? I would. Absolutely. Do I always? No. Anyone who was here yesterday, you saw how badly I felt at the beginning of the session. I was having one of the worst mornings that I've had in a long time. But I got to spend time with you guys, and I got to process the whole thing, and I went on a walk. You guys remember the story I told yesterday about my walk? I'm in the middle of all the anger and frustration and overwhelm, and I suddenly walked under this, we'll call it a hibiscus tree, that was just full of beautiful red and white colored flowers that it had sprinkled on the sidewalk. And I felt like, and it's still moving me just to think about it. I felt like the tree had laid them down on the sidewalk just for me, had sprinkled the blossoms so that I could, in my dark moment, see the beauty. In my dark moment, see, and I really felt that tree loving me. I felt its arms, its branches over me, covering me, and it totally reminded me that I was safe. And yes, in the moment I was pissed. In the moment I was overwhelmed. In the moment I was aggravated to no end. And yet, for that very moment, for one moment within all of those with all those other feelings, for one moment, I was able to be present and witness the beauty that was there. I could have missed that moment. I feel so blessed and lucky that I didn't miss that moment, because that tree really nurtured and supported me for a beautiful minute. Carrie says, we are fluid. We are vibrations, just like the background in the Reprise video. That is also mind-blowing. Yeah, I love that background, don't you? It's funny that I picked a similar one. Okay. Let's see what else they have to say. JC says, seriously, thank you for sharing that. I needed to hear it. Often my mind blocks out moments like that because I think it has to be a certain way. Yes, exactly. Well said, JC. Because I think it has to be a certain way, right? Not because it has to be a certain way, because they think it has to be a certain way, right? And that's another beautiful thing about the Moments of Joy game, because it lets us know, oh, it could be a 1. There's nothing wrong with a 1. We're not judging it. We're not criticizing it. It's just a 1. It's an incy little bit of joy, but guess what? It's still joy. Oh, that one's a 10. I could latch on and stay with the 10 as long as I want. But no, the whole nature of the game is I notice the 10 and then I go look for something else. The next thing's a 5. I go look to something, and you just go from thing to thing, and you keep shifting, you keep sensing, you keep feeling. I do love that too, Carrie. All right, let's see what else they have to say. I think they're wrapping up. The notion of now-ness is not a new one for any of you, really. But it is indeed integral and vital to your understanding of Is-ness that is continuing to unfold. And why is this the case? Quite simply put, until you can foster a regular sense of connection with the moment, you cannot truly be happy in your heart. And you also cannot truly understand how your entire existence is made up of love, is made up of all the different energy that is a part and parcel of all that is, of Source itself. For all of that energy lives in the now, exists in the now, and is only and ever here in the now. If you are in any habit of worrying about the future or regretting the past, you are never in the now, and so you are not necessarily as attuned or connected with your energy in the moment. And so an interesting point on this, because this is something we've talked about recently, so I'm just going to reiterate it because for some reason I'm being called to reiterate it. When we're living from what was-ness or not-yet-ness, our energy is still living in the now, because energy is pure and it only ever exists in the now. When we're living in was-ness and not-yet-ness, our energy does not come and meet us there. Our energy simply just waits for us to come back to the moment. And that's why we feel out of sorts when we're getting lost in the future or lost in the past, because we're not in alignment with our pure, essential, sacred energy, which is here in the now. That's why the now-ness, the is-ness, all these different things that the council's been talking about, this is why this whole conversation, this whole topic is so powerful, because it's helping us be in alignment, ultimately. Does that make sense? Makes sense to me. And there is more that we will tell you at a later date about this, but it's important to begin to practice these regular moments of joy, if you will. And as you do so, we believe that you will find that whether you are already in a state of fulfillment or happiness regarding your life, or whether you are not, whether you are feeling lost, or whether you are confused or concerned about any particular aspect of your life, we promise you that if you simply play the Moments of Joy game at least once a day, if not more, you will begin to feel lighter. You will begin to feel more ease, more effortlessness coming into your body, of your experience of your body, your experience with other people, your experience with your own mind. And as you do become lighter and easier, our dear friends, you will begin to make a much more powerful, stronger connection with your own sacred energy, which lives here and now in the very moment. And as you do so, this and this alone can open you up to perception of that which is unseen, beyond what the normal eyes and ears and thoughts are capable of perceiving. And this truly is the path to expanded consciousness. And we use many different words, but ultimately expanded consciousness is simply just connection to who you truly are. So much was said today. We thank you for your time and your presence. If you have any questions about this, we will leave you to our dear beloved channel Greg, and we will do our best to answer intuitively through him. Until we see you again tomorrow, we wish you take good care of your hearts, our dear friends. Take good care of those who love you and that you love. And by take good care, we do not mean to care to manage them or to do anything necessarily for them. We mean to take the care that you have for them and hold it in your heart. That's beautiful. And with this, we will bid you adieu, and we will see you next time. Wow. I'm always a little, it's so funny to see me channeling. It's still, I mean, it's enjoyable. It's a little awkward. I'm still getting used to it. It's quite interesting. JC says, boom, that's so helpful. OMG. Being present because our energy body and physical body aren't anywhere else but present. I'm eating this up. Following, gotta go. Thank you, Greg. Welcome to the community, says Carrie. You're welcome, JC. Carrie says, so when we are playing assign something a 9 or 10, we are shifting ourselves to a higher level? Absolutely. Let's think about it. Joy, love, not quite gratitude. Gratitude's a slightly lower vibration than love. If you want, I can explain why that is. I won't get into that now unless you really want me to. But joy, love, appreciation, fulfillment, maybe not even, maybe, yeah. But joy, love, appreciation, those are all the same vibrational level, right? And so when we are moving from number to number as we go through the moments of joy game, we're connecting with that vibration. We're connecting with that frequency, right? And so every time we connect with that frequency, the mind's registering it, the heart's registering it, your entire self, and you're connecting with all that is. You're connecting with all that is, who you truly are. You're connecting with your spirit body, whatever you want to call it. You're calibrating your alignment. And the more often you do that, the better and better, the more you're going to master that, the more you're going to feel like a master at it, the more you're going to be able to master when you're not feeling good and finding a mental pathway, because that's what it is. When you're not feeling good and you want to feel better, you are finding a mental pathway from not feeling good to feeling better, even if the feeling better is just a 1. You know, we create these definitions about, and this is huge for some people. We create these definitions that if I'm angry, I shouldn't be angry and I should be happy, or I should be grateful. And so then we sit down and we look and we make gratitude lists in order to not feel angry. That misses the whole point. You're like skipping over all the emotions between anger and gratitude isn't even the highest vibration. So you're trying to cloud out, you're trying to blot out the anger. No, stop for a moment. There I am, I'm angry. Have you ever been angry? I'm sure many of you have had this experience, been angry, and then in the moment that you've allowed that, the moment that you've recognized it and embraced it, you start to feel better already. There's a juiciness to it. It's actually, anger has a lot of motion to it versus depression and sadness and fear. Anger has a lot of energy to it, has a lot of potency, right? And the minute you sort of sit in it, and not sit in it, but the minute you sit with it and be present with it, like the council was saying yesterday, you're like, well, damn, this actually feels kind of good. This is why many people have learned that it is scary and feels dangerous to be angry, because there's so much energy behind it. I spent all of my childhood resisting being angry. It took a long time in my adulthood to embrace it, to learn to accept that it was a 100% valid emotion. Was it comfortable? No friggin' way. I still don't like getting angry. But when I'm angry, I'm angry. When I'm sad, I'm sad. When I hurt, I hurt. I don't know. Is that what spiritual bypassing is? It's just blotting it out. I don't like that term. I don't know why I don't like spiritual bypassing. Maybe I don't understand it or whatever, but maybe that's how it's defined. Yeah. Carrie's getting so excited she can't type right. Boom, like JC said. Yeah, absolutely. What resists persists. Today's quote from Jung. Oh, that's so cool, Kelsey. Yeah, and Bashar's quote is insistence equals resistance. I love that one. I had to borrow that. Oh, wow. How are we doing? How you guys doing? Thank you to anybody who's joined. Welcome. If you're brand new, if you're loving this and you want to come back, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we're doing Coffee with the Council Reprise, where we are showing and talking about and studying the replays from April, where the Council of Seven, the guides that I channel, have shared messages about Is-ness. The next one, I think I'm going to start putting the topics. I think I'm going to start putting the topics in the live stream description. Would that be helpful, guys? If you knew that it wasn't just in general Coffee with the Council Reprise, but if it was actually the topic too, maybe that'd be cool. I don't know. Take a look. Right. So the next topic is super cool. Oh my God. I love this topic. This is the next topic. This is the topic for Monday. Judge not the various nesses, for they are all is-ness. That would be great, Craig. Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea too. Does anyone else think it's a good idea? I think it would be fun. What else she's saying? Kelsey said, this is helpful to stay in the space, learn from the spaces between where you are, where you want to be. It's an illusion. Yeah. Beautiful. Gwen, you like that idea too? Or you like, yeah, you like, okay, Jackie likes that idea. Okay, good. Thank you, Jack. All right. So this weekend I'll work on editing the titles of the lives so that you guys know which, what topic we're going to be talking about next. Do you want the date with it too? Do you want the April date? Oh, please do show up divinely. I love that, Kelsey. Ultimately, everybody shows up divinely anyways. You don't think we need a date, Gwen? Okay. I don't think so either. Sometimes, see, that's my mind. Sometimes my mind cares about the data points so much I can get a little too granular. So that's why I have to check. The topics are going to be hard to do, actually. A little bit hard to do. Because some of them are really long. I'll figure something out. Or I won't. It all is. It's all good. Carrie always shows up divinely. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. With the halo. I love that. Any questions about today's conversation? Do we want to hear from the council again? If you want to hear from the council one more time before we go, because we have time, please raise your hand in chat if you want an extra message for today. Please raise your hand in chat if you want an extra message, or just say yes, please. There might be some good questions in the topics too. Yes, please. Gwen's good today. We have 3 yes, pleases. Jeffrey's raising his hand. I love it. You guys are fun. Appreciate you. All right, let's have a real quick message from the council, and then I will send us off into the weekend. You're good at council. Hello and greetings, dear friends. We greet you from the energetic realms where we are always, constantly and forever, loving and celebrating who you really are and your unique perspective as expressed through you as a human being on the planet today. We love and celebrate all aspects, all expressions of who you are, all variations. Thank you for being here today. We hope that you appreciated the revisitation of the topic of now-ness and indeed the moments of joy game. And yes, indeed, the explanation that Greg provided to you regarding the various reasons for having the numbers and the various purposes within the game itself are absolutely essential. Dear friends, dear beloved ones, we wish to, on a bold face, italicize, underline one very important thing. This is all the process of learning how to manage your own vibrational frequency. And why do we offer this? Why might it be important to you? Perhaps it has never been important to you before, and you are now in a place where you're realizing how important it is. It is because, dear friends, dear ones, everything is shifting and changing on planet Earth at this time. You are facilitating that change, and every single day you have the opportunity, and this has been the case for at least over a dozen years now. You have every single day the opportunity to make one very simple choice. Do you wish to live from love, or do you wish to live from fear? Now, of course, there are subtleties, there are nuances, there are variations of all of this, but in terms of just the simplest of choices, this is indeed what you are facing every day. the essence of this decision comes down to how much you wish to individually grow. There is no problem staying the same and being the same person again and again. You will simply, every morning that you wake up, you will simply be recreating who you are, recreating the reality that you live in every single day. There is absolutely no harm, no foul, nothing bad or wrong about that. But if in your heart of hearts, you, like our dear channel Greg, feel a deep calling to always grow, to always expand, to wish to reach and access higher realms, higher understandings, expand your consciousness, etc., etc., the most important and vital thing about that, dear friends, is that you are doing that in shifting your energy, and that you are using whatever tools work for you. For some tools will work for you and some tools won't. Some tools will work for others and they will not work for you. Whatever works for you is what is good for you. And the reason this is going on, dear friends, the reason that shifting and managing and calibrating your ability to shift and your vibration and to monitor your energy and shift it as you need. And we're not saying from a place of bypassing, we're talking about actually riding the waves of energy, riding the waves of frequency, if you will. This will bring you more and more consistently into the higher dimensions, and this will give you access to new perceptions, new understandings, new knowings that you've never had before. For in this indeed is the path of spiritual evolution. This is the very essence of what it is about. And so these games are really meant to, yes, indeed, sometimes, such as the Numbers in the Moments of Joy game, are meant to entertain or keep the mind busy with doing something quote unquote analytical in the moment. But ultimately, it is about you and your vibration and how high you wish to actually learn to move your vibration. For all frequencies and all vibrations are accessible to you, but you have had already in your lives plenty of experience with the lower vibrations, have you not? Plenty of experiences with the pains of life, with the challenges of life. And we are not inviting you to explore the higher vibrations and frequencies in order to get away from the pains and the displeasures of life and the uncomfortability of life. For indeed, that is part and parcel of the design of life. What we are doing is inviting you to practice in a way so that as these uncomfortable moments come about, you have more power of choice in your response to them. For when you are in the lower vibrations, it is very, very difficult to execute your power of choice. In fact, many times when you are in the lower vibrational frequencies, you have lost your power of choice, for you have forgotten that your power of choice, your power to change your beliefs and your thinking, is indeed your most precious power on planet Earth. But when you begin to practice using this power in its right way, investigating, sifting and sorting, digging through and analyzing fear-based beliefs, letting them go, releasing them through whatever means you can. Ho'oponopono has recently been very beneficial for Greg. Others have different techniques. You could simply play the Moments of Joy game more frequently, and that would help you make the shift as well. But the minute you recognize, oh, this is because of what I'm thinking. We love how JC stated this earlier. I'm thinking because I'm thinking it should be a certain way. Because I'm thinking it should be a certain way. These are deep words of wisdom from your fellow friend. Deep words of wisdom. So we will leave you with this for now, dear friends. We always enjoy our visits with you. We truly do celebrate and love every single aspect of you, and particularly our visits here. We look forward to seeing you again next week, and we wish to remind you that even when you are not aware of it and not feeling it, you are always safe, secure, and deeply loved, because A, you are love, and be. You are indestructible, eternal spirit who has focused itself into a specific perspective in the physical. And just because you are physical does not mean you are no longer spirit, does not mean that you are no longer indestructible. You indeed are eternal, indestructible, pure, essential energy. As are we. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We will see you again soon. We wish you good day. That was a beautiful message. Wow. Is Sabine here? Where's Sabine? I don't get bubbles anymore on my end. It's kind of sad. I don't see people's faces unless they write. Gwen says, I want to grow. Craig says, thank you, Greg. Sending love and light for the day ahead. Thank you, and you too, my friend. All right, my friends. Are we good? Are we complete? This was a great session today. Is it Mother's Day this weekend? Oh, I have to celebrate my mama. Send a thought up to the non-physical for her. Kelsey says, beautiful power of our choices. Absolutely. Such loving energy, says Ro. Oh, thank you. Good to see you again, Ro. My dear friends, I love you so much. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being interested in what the council has to share. Thank you for following me. I love it when people follow. If you haven't followed me yet, please do. We love seeing those. It's very, very nice to know that we're reaching more and more people. And even if that doesn't happen, it's nice to know that the people that are here are being reached. Thank you for sharing all of your aha moments with me. It is what I live for. It is my very purpose here, is to help spark them and to witness them and celebrate them with you. And with that, unless there's any more comments or questions, I'll be heading out. Johnny says, thank you, Greg. I've been listening in the background all week and have really enjoyed the messages. I'll be back next week. Oh, Johnny, very cool. Thank you for speaking up and saying hi. It's so nice to know. I really appreciate that. I love when people enjoy stuff. And we love you, Council. Thank you for all of your work. For those who don't know, when I'm bringing the Council in, I don't know where I came up with this invocation, but I do this little invocation. And what it does is it just really helps raise my vibration into the frequency of love. The very last thing that I say before they come in is that we love you. We love you very much. And then I just hold that until they come in. It's really quite special. It is a beautiful feeling. I'll also say we thank you and we love you very much. All right, my dear ones. Have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day to everyone who's a mother. Technically, that's all of us, because if you believe in reincarnation, I'm sure we've been mothers before, or mothers in the future, or whatever, even though there's no past or future. Anyways, silly topic there. All right, my dear friends, I'm going to send you off. Thank you so much for being here, and I love you, and I'll see you next time.